And we are, I don't know if we're streaming this or just recording it on Logitech, and then I'll post it. So this is different actually.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I think it works.
I agree.
All right,
That's
what are we going to start off with?
I have an article here that's all real estate.
Yeah.
It says the biggest housing boom in history has just begun.
Wow, that's
That's an
Wow.
interesting headline, huh?
Yeah.
Very.
So,
Okay. Let's start off with that. And away we go. Welcome. You're listening to The Best of Investing. I'm your host, Edward Brown, along with my co-host, Nam Fong of Pacific Private Money and Patty Cohn of Compass Realty. Our phone number is 888-912-1190. Use that number to answer the trivia questions for our 5-pack Danny certificate given away during the show. That certificate's not sponsored by the radio station, but by Tan Bella Tanning Salon, with 2 locations in San Francisco and 1 in Marin. And today's trivia theme is music from the 1980s. Patty, that's when you were just a child.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
music from the 80s. Excellent.
And Nam, you have an interesting article you want to share with us.
Yeah, so, gosh, real estate. This week we're talking about, every week that Patty and I are together, I love to talk about real estate. So this week I want to talk about an article that was in Forbes.com, article written by contributor Stephen McBride. Headline is very catchy. The biggest housing boom in history has just begun. And so this was as of October 14th. So the article was written just a few days ago. Gosh, I don't know. Most of the headlines seem to be
it's cooling down.
Cooling down.
Yeah.
So he points to a lot of interesting facts, but one of the areas he looks at are stocks of home builders, and he said that stocks of home builders are through the roof. Huge gains in growth in home builders, and it's because of a number of factors which he highlights in the article. One of them being the number of the number of millennials that have yet to enter the market. And one of the stats he uses is he said that the average, I think it was the average first-time home buyer, bought their home at age 33. And right now, the average millennial is 34.
Yes.
And they're underrepresented in terms of new home buyers.
Mm-hmm.
And they were really scared when their parents got messed up with the recession when they were younger.
Yeah.
So now maybe they're going, maybe it's time to catch on. That's an interesting point.
And so
maybe it's time to catch on at the top of the market.
right. Well, so and the other thing is housing stock is significantly below where it should be. One of the things he points out was that a few years ago, or maybe back a couple decades, then homes were being built at a rate of something like 15,000 a year in certain markets, or 1.5 million, and now it's somewhere down around 900,000. So the number of new homes being built is at a much slower pace than it was a few decades ago. So low housing stock, or not not enough housing stock being built. The average millennial being 34 and not having entered the housing market yet leads to what he's saying is going to be a big boom. The interesting thing too, though, is I read an article earlier this month where it said millennials are less inclined to buy homes, and that they're more transitional. They move a lot, and also they're debt averse because of what their parents just went through.
Exactly.
So, maybe that's the case, but maybe they're just going to wait longer before they buy their first house. So
especially if they see rents going up too much.
Right.
Yeah.
And the economy's still strong, so he was pointing to another factor that would lead to millennials being able to buy.
Yeah.
Is that they're making more, presumably.
Although, really, honestly, prices have already started going down, not dropping, but just like a gentle glide. Like in for example, in Marin, year over year, 3% down since last year. And in fact, I was just pulling up an article where it was August marked the 12th month out of the last 13 in which sales were lower than a year earlier. And the same would-be buyers remained priced out of the market, stayed on the sidelines, hesitant to buy near a potential peak. So I'm finding that every single day being out in the market, some things are just sitting, some things are going,
People just waiting.
waiting. And nobody has to buy a house. Millennials, like Nam was saying, they're like stagnation inflation. They really just they don't live over their means, like terrible. We act like that's terrible.
Right.
They don't spend. It's actually really good.
That's absolutely good. Yeah.
They don't really, they wait to buy houses and
Right.
Well, their whole thing is they like experiences.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
Less materialism.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So simultaneously.
What's wrong with them?
Yeah.
I know, exactly, right?
Yeah.
And then 3.4 million new renters. So, for example, about 19% of U.S. households with six-figure incomes, and the U.S., that's big,
Mhm.
right? Up from about, are renting their homes, up from about 12% in 2016. This is a Wall Street Journal
that nationwide?
analysis. Yeah. So it's different. It's really different.
Mhm.
And also, a Moody's study showed that they believe a global recession is highly likely in the next 12 to 18 months, unless there is not an escalation with the tariff war with China.
Okay.
So many unknowns.
So they don't want to buy when they think that there's a recession because prices will drop, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
I get it.
Yeah.
All right.
No, it's who knows, but at least we don't have a glut of inventory yet.
Mhm.
But I really do think for the next 5 years or so, it's just, gentle waves. That's what we get.
Right.
And we're going to have a nice normal market, which we're already in, a neutral market.
Mhm.
And then we're going to have a sort of a buyer's market, but not terrible like last time. But,
Right.
we're at the top.
And do you think the next few months, which is typically slower because of the winter, that'll be the norm right now? I mean, there's nothing to spark any special activity.
Right. No, I
Okay.
think it's just, and seasonality, like it's just basic seasonality curves are happening
Gotcha.
as always.
All right.
Yeah.
Tell you what, we're going to cut to a commercial break, and we're going to start asking our trivia questions, music of the 1980s, all right? First trivia question, what was the name of the first lead singer of AC/DC who died in 1980 at the age of 33?
Mhm.
Call 888-912-1190. Be the first caller with the correct answer. You're going to win that tanning certificate. I want to make a quick mention here for the Urban Tavern, which is located in downtown San Francisco near Union Square. Celebrate local food and beer scene with seasonal menus and more than a dozen Bay Area crafts on tap. And show your professional local sports gear. Buy one, get one game day free. Drink free. That's not bad. Sounds like a 2-for-1, huh? So you got to show your game ticket or wear your local sports gear, i.e., Warriors, Giants, etc. All right. That is our trivia question again. Is what was the name of the first lead singer of AC/DC who died in 1980 at the age of 33? And stay with us. You're listening to The Best of Investing. We're going to be right back.
I don't either. I was in a big
Probably
AC/DC.
It's funny. I was a big AC/DC fan when they came out with Back in Black.
Yeah.
The second after the first guy was no longer there.
Too much scary. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What do we want to cover this next go round?
Should we? What other articles do you have?
Well, I was going to actually read them,
Mhm.
but so it's sort of just putting a lot of stuff together.
Yeah.
Like San Francisco is the most competitive market with 28% bidding war. We can just kind of talk about the market.
Yeah.
California home sales. Oh, we talked about that. Now here's something that ties in with rates. We can talk about interest rates have been plummeting, but the cost of taking out a mortgage hasn't. So the 10-year Treasury note fell about 40 basis points, but yet mortgage rates only fell about 10.
Yeah, what are rates?
Something.
Maybe we can. Do you know what rates are right
I don't
now?
follow it that much. I do
I
not.
think they're in the threes, aren't they?
Jeez, back in the threes.
Yeah,
That's right.
it's an amazing.
Yeah.
God. Also, I don't know if I need to look at this a little bit more, but there's big things coming along, probably January 1st in California with renters.
Right.
And if you're, as a
landlords.
landlord, you got to
Renters.
know that, yeah, because it used to be you just, after they changed it to if they're there for over a year, you got to get 6 months, 60-day notice. Now you cannot get people out. You have to have just cause.
But in reality, wouldn't you want to just get rid of them for just cause anyway? I mean, unless, why would you want to get rid of a renter if they're...
Complainer.
What's that?
Complainer. I have a lot of rental properties, and sometimes I'm just like, I'm done with them.
Gotcha. That's not good. That's not a just cause.
No.
Yeah.
So
gotcha.
even if their lease is up, you have to give them,
Yes.
unless you have just cause, you have to
Yes.
allow them
Well,
the opportunity.
Just cause is I'm selling it, I'm moving back in, or a family member's moving in.
Did they
Or,
still go for that?
yeah, but it has to be, and people are watching.
Yeah.
Or I'm doing some serious remodeling, and this place is like gutted, and everybody's out.
Mm.
So that's kind of
So my
bad.
plumber's cousin's brother-in-law's nephew,
Right.
mother from
Right.
a different...
Yeah.
Mother from a different mother.
Yeah. And then you cannot, okay, here's the other thing. You
can't raise
cannot raise it more than 5%.
5%.
Yeah. And then it's a cost of living after that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what we're talking about.
I am not, yeah.
As Homer Simpson would say.
Yeah.
Also, when we get back, we have our
Question?
email question.
Email.
Thank you. For Nam, it's why does the distribution in your fund fluctuate?
The dollar amount or the date?
Probably the
Dollar
the
amount.
dollar amount.
Yeah, I'm not talking about date.
And then for Patty,
Mhm.
is there any downside to accepting a backup offer?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so we'll continue on.
Yeah.
With,
We could
Yeah,
do the
I'll-
rental stuff. We could
yeah.
do the backup offer. We could do,
I'll open it up. I'm
Interest
just
rates?
asking
Okay.
days on market right now because you're talking about being more balanced.
Yeah.
Or what is the
days on market and
Yeah.
then moving to the renter next.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact days on market, but I can
Oh,
just talk a little bit about
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can skip that if you want.
Yeah, I think we have a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we have interest rates, we have the rental stuff, we have your question, your
Excuse me.
question.
Perfect.
Okay. So who do you want me to?
Yeah, okay.
For the ACDC question too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, ready? Here we go. Welcome back to the Best of Investing. Edward Brown here, along with Nam Phan and Patty Cohen. First trivia question: music in the 1980s. What was the name of the first lead singer of AC/DC who died in 1980 at age 33?
Patty.
Just
I don't know. Do I look
Bon
like
Scott.
Bon Scott.
You heard that
Yeah.
name before. No?
I
No,
don't
not
know.
really.
Okay. Well, the next question I think is a little easier, and the last one maybe easy. Okay, Patty, there was something you were telling us during the break about renters.
Yeah, investors need to know this, and tenants will be happy. Gavin Newsom, now I'm not speaking about this as for sure, but pretty sure Gavin Newsom will be signing into law effective January 1st, 2020, that you cannot give notice to a tenant without just cause. And, it used to be that you just need to give 30 days notice. And currently, you've got to give 60 days notice if they're there more than a year. But now you must give there must be just cause. Now, just cause would be you are selling the property, or you are moving back in, you particularly, exactly the landlord, or a family member, close family
Or
member.
they haven't paid the rent.
Well, that's just cause.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's just cause. Or and just cause would also be they're renting it short-term rental, and that's not part of the lease.
Oh, wait, how about just CUZ, just cuz?
Just
Just
cause.
cuz. I want to kick you out just cuz.
Maybe we should read that bill and see if it is just CUZ.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Just because I
Tenant-
want to.
Landlords love this bill.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Just cause. It is San Francisco after all.
So,
Just cause.
so let's say you're a landlord and you've had somebody in for 10 years and they're paying a rent that is now, a few thousand below market. Or
Really good question. You still can't raise it more than 5. This is coming with the bill, and it
Right.
isn't enacted yet. But you still can't raise it more than 5%.
See, and I've always said that, I've always said this in the last year. Then I get to go to my insurance company and I get to go to PG&E and say, oh, by the way, you can't raise my rents. And same thing with water, right?
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I can't raise my rent
Mm.
to my tenant, so you guys can't raise your bill to me, right?
Good point. Yeah.
And the roofer, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Mr. Roofer, but last time we did a roof, it was this. You can't raise it more than
Yeah.
5% a year.
And avocados, what happened to that?
Yeah.
It just went way up.
And how about taxes?
Yeah,
Oh,
taxes.
I'm sorry, Mr. Taxman.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to raise my taxes.
Without just cause.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Give it a shot, Edward.
Yeah,
See
yeah.
what
Instead of Edward, I'll be known as number 436-892 in the penitentiary.
Yeah.
Exactly. Fight for just cause.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, let's move on to a little bit of emails. How's that?
Okay.
Nom. Email
Yes.
comes in. Says, hello, Nom.
Hello there.
Why does the distribution in your fund fluctuate? So I don't know if this is someone who's an investor or has maybe just kind of heard that the interest rates fluctuate between 7.5+%. So why does the distribution fluctuate every month?
It's a two-word answer, or it could even be one word. I'm not sure. Just cause.
Just kind of, exactly.
Daddy needs a new pair of shoes.
Just cause. So it fluctuates because of the rate of the loans that we are funding or adding to the fund that month, in a given month, and also the rate of the loans that are paying off. So, at Pacific Private Money, we make, private money loans to borrowers on primarily residential real estate. We charge them rates generally in the 9s, but if it's a junior lien, it could be 10+%. But the rates fluctuate for a number of different reasons. Some based on duration of the loan that they're in, quality of the credit, or quality of the asset. So if it's a really low loan to value, then we may lower the rate. So every loan, we charge a rate on that, that the loan metrics merit. So, it could be 8.5, which is actually kind of low, but if it's a really, really clean, we say a clean deal. Whereas something that is, somebody has a really low FICO score, but they've got, there's an exit, and it's a loan that we will say, yes, we'll do the loan. Maybe that's 10%. Those all get mixed together across the entire portfolio, and so you end up with sort of a weighted average loan to value, and also weighted average rate. And so every month that rate fluctuates just because of the mix of loans in the fund changes every month. So not a lot, though. I mean, we've stayed within a pretty healthy range, at least. You can look at the returns, which have been 7.5% to 8% since 2013. That means that the rate that we charge the borrowers fluctuated somewhere along those lines as well. So it's a mixed bag, but it's generally in a narrow range.
Okay. And since Patty and I are both investors, we noticed. Did you notice how the last month's rate
Honestly,
was?
I don't even pay attention.
Oh, no, yeah.
I mean, I don't control it, so.
No, but you like to see how much you're making. It was actually on an annualized basis, 8-point-something%?
Yeah, 8.7.
8.7%.
Nice.
Yeah, the previous month it was 7.7. So, yeah, why'd you ask that? We're letting the cat out of the bag. No, we've had some solid returns, and we've been doing some things to help boost the yield, which is, after we fund some of the loans, we sell them off to institutional investors who will buy at a significantly lower rate than what our individual trustee investors would take.
That also kind of lends itself to the aspect that the loans that you're funding are got to be pretty high quality if these big institutions are willing to buy them.
Yeah, and we're ramping it up. And how does that benefit the fund investors? So if you're funding a loan from a borrower at 9.5% as an example, and you're able to sell it to institutions at 7%, well, that 2.5 point spread is income that comes into the fund.
Mm-hmm.
And we've sold the loan
most
off.
of it is.
Most of it is, yeah. So that's added to the pool of along with the existing loans that we have and those payments, and that's all calculated together. But to make a long story short, that helps boost the yield because you're just adding that spread back into the total revenue that the fund generates.
And there's really no risk from that standpoint because once you sell it to an outside person, it's their risk. All you're doing is collecting the spread.
Yeah, and
Nice model.
institutions are hurting for yield themselves. So the alternative investment space is very attractive for them. We're very attractive for institutional money because we have a great track record, and our team is very effective at underwriting and vetting quality loans. I mean, we say, we've said in the past that we say yes to 1 out of 10, meaning we say no to 9 out of 10 loans. And later when we talk about a deal of the week, and I'll go into a couple of examples of when we say no.
Okay. And in the meantime, how do people get a hold of you?
So to get a hold of us, if you're interested in investing in the fund, call us at 415-883-2150 or go online to www.pacificprivatemoney.com.
Right. And when we come back, Patty, we're going to ask you a question about backup offers because we know that is kind of interesting.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Here's our second trivia question. Who had a 1981 hit, we're talking 1980s music, with the song 9 to 5 from the film of the same name?
Mhm.
So I have to tell you a
Dolly
little bit.
Parton.
Excellent, Excellent, Patty.
Who was her who was one of her co-stars
Didn't mean to
in that
do that.
show?
Yeah.
There's a trivia question, right?
Okay, so this time nobody's going to win the tanning certificate. Patty let it out of the bag, but that's okay.
Patty
That's
won
a
it.
dial.
Maybe I won the tanning certificate.
There you go.
That place is great.
It is great. Okay, we'll be right back. That's the first time you ever did
My
that.
first time, but I was more I was thinking of her as the actress. The
Oh.
actress. I really
And
didn't think
she
I
was
was
in it
answering the
too.
question.
Because
I know she was the
But she was
singer.
both.
I know
But she was
now.
in
I
it. She
know.
was
But
in
at the
it.
moment, I was like, Dolly Parton is the actress, and I was going to say Jane Fonda, Dolly Parton, Lily Tomlin,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay,
You got them all.
because I was yeah, but I didn't think I was. I was thinking of the actress. And I wasn't trying to answer it. I was just
I
like,
know.
hey, spur on. God. Well, now what? So
Okay,
now.
well, you can just answer it again. And nobody won the tanning certificate. They're all going to yell at me for it.
People will be picketing downstairs.
Can you imagine? Did not get my tanning. Exactly. I have to run around looking like this.
Well, you know what? If someone,
I'm so pale.
If
I know.
someone, if someone emails in and also answers it, we'll give it to them.
Yeah. I really can't believe I did that. I wasn't even thinking of her as a musician. She was the actress. She's so dynamic. She's adorable.
She is.
Okay.
That's funny.
Blonde and blonde.
That was a good movie too.
It was
It
great.
was good.
Great.
In fact, even I just watched Working Girl. Remember that
That
one?
was good.
That was
Yeah.
good too.
Sigourney Weaver, right?
Yeah,
And Melanie
Melanie
Griffith.
Griffith
Yeah.
That was awesome.
and Harrison Ford.
That's right.
He was in it. Very good. All right. Okay, so I'll ask you your email question,
Yeah.
and then we'll go to deal of the week.
Oh, backup
Or-
offer, right?
Yeah,
Back-
I'm going to go
Yeah,
to her.
okay.
Yeah, that's your email question.
Mhm.
All right, here we go. Welcome back to the Best of Investing one more time. I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Nam Phan and Patty Cohen. Second trivia question, which was let out of the bag. That's okay. But we'll let you repeat it anyway. Okay. Who had a 1981 hit with the song 9 to 5 from the film of the same name?
Was it Dolly Parton?
It was!
Oh my God!
Oh my gosh! Good job.
So the first responder will still get the tanning.
If we, we're still going to allow that.
We deliberated during the break for a while, and we realized that we didn't want people picketing.
Yeah.
this radio show.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
Dream for his
Okay.
life.
I'm
All right.
in bed tonight. I don't want any eggs in my hair.
So, Patty, an email question comes in for you. It says, is there any downside to accepting a backup offer?
That's a very good question, and I get that a lot. And then the first is downside to who, buyer or the
Yeah.
seller.
Mhm.
Almost 100% of the time, as a seller, you're going to want to take a backup offer. The only time it wouldn't is if it's a rising market, and I've seen this. I've seen markets like this where 30 days later you could have gotten 10,000 more, and you wish you weren't with that offer. But as long as you feel really, really comfortable with that high offer that you have in escrow, then for sure take a backup offer. And there's several reasons for it. One is, once the bloom's off the rose, it's really hard to get them back. So, meaning that like the deal falls apart, you're not going to get multiple offers again. I don't care how hot the market is. You're pretty much not going to happen.
Good
Why
point.
is that?
It's like
Psychological.
jaded goods. It's
Yeah.
psychological. It's bloom is off the rose.
But then if you're the potential buyer, you may realize, they're just going to use me as a white horse or whatever, dark horse, or whatever they call it.
Exactly.
what is the term?
Uh,
Dark horse?
I don't
White
know.
horse?
Oh, I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. I
Yeah,
can't think
basically
of
they're going to use me
Yeah.
to get the first offer to go ahead and close.
Yeah. However, if you're a buyer, and I tell you as a seller's agent that there's several people that want to go into backup, would you like to? You're probably going to do it. And the other thing that's great for sellers
yeah.
is that first buyer, they're going to behave. They're not going to
Yeah.
ask for money back. They're going to do their inspections.
Yeah.
It's going to be just fine and easy because the seller can't wait to kick them out of escrow. And that's provided, like say you get multiple offers and, you had it's listed for 1.9, you get into escrow at $2 million, but the backup offer is, 1.9. You can take them at 1.9, or you can say you can go into backup as long as you're going to be in backup for $2 million. There's all
Yeah.
ways you can do it, but it's pretty good for a seller.
Are you obligated though, as the seller, to accept that backup?
Absolutely. And here's
Okay.
the other part about it: the backup offer is not obligated; they can walk.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but that first offer, that in primary position, they're going to really behave, and everybody's going to be smooth.
Yeah, I guess as the agent, you have to present all offers, even if it's a backup offer.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
So if you're representing the buyer, would it be, if they can walk away, right? Can they make backup offers on multiple properties? It's not-
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really.
That's not.
Yeah, but how do people know?
People
that?
don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
just as you can't make multiple offers on different properties at all,
Mhm.
unless you are prepared to buy them all, and
Yeah,
most people
right.
aren't.
Yeah.
So, is it illegal? Not real? Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
but
but it's funny
no one
because on a
knows.
1031 exchange, you're supposed to identify a few different properties.
Yeah, but if
Right.
you're in contract with them, you can't do that.
Yeah, that's a no-no.
yeah, it's a no-no.
Patty, how do you're a wealth of knowledge. How
Why, thank
do we
you.
get hold of you?
I am Patty Cohns, Cohn. I'm with Compass, formerly Pacific Union, and I am at 415-722-4842, and I'm in Marin County, bestmarinagent.com.
Very good. Nom, we're going to go to Deal of the Week.
So this deal of the week is this property is located in the Tahoe region. So this week we have a deal in process right now where the borrower came to us because he started a construction project on a property up in Tahoe, not realizing that once you start construction, you can't get bank financing on that.
Because of mechanics lien issues.
Yeah, right. So not realizing that, he thought he could start it because he wanted to get it going, use his own funds. But then when he went to a bank, they said, no, we can't lend you the money. He's got to, and he's limited on his funds. Rather than, so now, number one, bank financing is no longer the option. Two, he's approaching wintertime. So this project's got to get done. I mean,
In
he can't
Tahoe,
wait
yeah.
in Tahoe.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
And three, he has other access to other kind of capital, some of it's stock, but it's below a rate that doesn't make sense for
He
his,
didn't want to sell his stock when
right.
it's lower than he thinks. Yeah.
So came to us, and we're going to be doing a construction loan. It's almost, we've almost closed the loan here, but that's an unusual one. It's
Yeah.
not one that we typically see.
So how do you guys get around the mechanic lien issues?
How do we do it? We do funds control. We do. That's not my specialization
Okay.
in terms of the kinds of liens for construction loans, but
Well, I'll bet what you do is you look at the project and you see how much work is done, and if it doesn't look like there's too much work being done, you can, not necessarily bond around it, but you can have an educated estimate as to what the potential mechanical liens issues would be. I mean, if the guy is just putting up, studs,
right.
then how much more could he have done?
Yeah.
Right.
Right,
There's only you can quantify. For
Yeah.
The most part.
Yeah, and I don't know how far along he's gotten, but
Plus, the other thing is I remember talking to one of the underwriters. You get mechanic lien releases from the people, because when he says the
Right.
borrower says, "Well, I paid these guys," well, then you just get something in writing from him saying, "Yeah, he has paid us."
yeah, that's probably something that would our loan agent who's doing this is a construction specialist. That's probably something that his items checklist.
All right, and with that,
Oh, so did you have something? Because I just want to talk about the deals that we don't do.
okay, well, let's talk about that
Yeah.
next segment. We got to cut to another commercial break here. All right, who was the first country artist to sell over 10 million copies of an album?
Dolly Parton?
No, no.
Thank
No.
goodness that's not the answer this time. Okay, call 888-912-1190. Other than Patty, be the first person to call with the correct answer. You're going to win that tanning certificate. Who was the first country artist to sell over 10 million copies of an album? Again, we're talking the 1980s. Stay with us. The best of investing. I'll be right back.
Wait, it was Dolly Parton.
I'm glad you answered. That was funny.
Wait, country.
You'll have heard.
80s.
You'll have heard of this person.
Shania Twain. I bet you it's male. Somehow I know it's male.
Shania was late, no, she's
Yeah.
90s, right? Or even
Yeah,
early
no, right.
2000s?
Wait, this is 80s?
80s.
Yeah, I've seen his face. I can't remember.
No.
If you
Johnny
guys don't,
Cash?
Oh, or Willie Nelson, or no?
and if you guys don't mind, I'm going to hit the bathroom.
Yeah. Oh, we're so.
Assuming you have water. And
We're going to
recording.
hijack the show. You're going to come in and we'll be singing.
Dolly Parton songs.
songs.
Working.
Okay, you guys talk because the
9 to 5,
camera's
he's
still
not even
rolling,
here.
and I'm going to be right back.
So you're all set
Take it
for your-
away.
I know. You're set for your big thing tonight.
Yeah, I think so. We've got,
I love that you have two speakers.
yeah,
Ah,
That'll be
great.
nice.
Yeah.
our section's going to be short. My gosh, Steve Moskowitz sent his, because I said, hey, Steve, send us your presentation so we can have it all loaded on the laptop so there won't be any fussing around. Ours is, we've cut it down because we usually, when we go by ourselves for 2 hours, then, we do the full.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we cut it from, I don't know, like 25 slides to 16.
Good.
So
Yeah.
16, 17 slides. So it's not a lot.
Mm.
Steve sends us his slides. It's 54 slides.
Wow.
And each one looks like a disclaimer page.
Oh my God.
And so I sent it back. I said, hey, do you want us to help cut this down a little bit? Because, I just want to be mindful of time, and I don't think we're going to have enough time to do you justice.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I know, I can.
He can whip them.
Yeah.
Because he's been around. I know of him. And he's
Yeah.
been around for, I don't know, 30 years on the radio.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 30, 40 years.
Yeah, that I know of, and
Mhm.
maybe longer probably, that I remember him. And he's good and he's fast. So, I mean, I don't know how long he's going to take with
Yeah.
50 slides, but,
He's actually a funny guy.
I mean, if he took a minute on each slide, that's 50 minutes.
Yeah. No, I think he's going to gloss over
Yeah.
a lot of stuff and maybe talk about the key points, but
Yeah.
because I was flipping through, and I don't, what you don't want in presentations is everyone just to read
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
slides. You want to listen to what
Yeah.
they say, but we don't have. If you added all the text from our 16 slides, it probably equals 2 of his.
Oh.
So we have just more visual stuff, but it'll be good. I think it'll be really informative.
Yeah. And then there's somebody else, the tax guy.
Chip.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh no, Steve Moskowitz.
Oh, Steve is the tax.
Yeah.
But so the other guy is.
Chip Franklin.
Yeah.
But he's he can't make it. He came down in some kind of
Oh.
flu or something.
Well, it's good, Steve's
Yes, Steve.
got his stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, are you ready?
Mhm.
Here we go. Welcome back to the Best of Investing. I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Nom Fon and Patty Cohen. Third trivia question. Who was the first country artist to sell over 10 million copies of an album in the 1980s?
Oh, is it Lyle something?
Lyle Lovett?
Yeah.
No.
Hmm.
Garth Brooks.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
was he 80s? Wow. Okay.
Achy Breaky Heart, right? Wasn't that the one?
Right.
That's
Okay. Nom, when we cut to break, you were going to mention in the next segment, which is this one, about loans you don't do.
Yeah. So we talk about the quality deal flow that we fund, and and Mark often says we say no 9 out of 10 times, and that's actually is pretty accurate. The interesting thing is our underwriters are so good. They'll see a loan get recirculated by 3 or 4 different brokers.
Yeah.
So it'll come to us sometimes directly, and we'll say, no, are you kidding me? This is not a loan we would do.
Yeah.
It disappears. And then a broker will bring a loan, and it's been repackaged. Typically what happens is the borrower gets denied by us and other private lenders, and they say, okay, what do I need to tweak about my story to make it look prettier? And then they'll submit it to a broker, and then that broker will come to us and say, hey, I've got this sweet
Yeah.
loan for you guys to do. we'll look at it, and Rick in our office will go like, wait a second, we've seen this.
Yeah.
The story has changed. No. And so then it'll come to us from one of our loan agents through another broker. And sometimes this can be months. So it's not like it's happening all in a week.
Yeah.
Sometimes these borrowers are
Years.
stuck in these situations. They're years, yeah.
That
You know, it's
lady
funny. Yeah, actually, that's funny. We got one recently where Rick said, I saw this 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so they come back and what they do is the borrower kind of gets the rejection, changes their story each
But
time.
isn't the property same address?
It's the same property. So
maybe different pictures
Yeah.
on the front and the back.
fundamentally, the reason why we're going to deny it, it's very hard to hide.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
kind of the details, whether it's a rehab project, fix and flip, or the borrower, you hear in our underwriting team, equity stripping,
Yeah.
which is when a borrower gets a loan, property appreciates, and they have more equity, they pull it out, take a loan against that equity, and they just constantly use their property like an ATM. And that you can't hide from that. I mean, because you run credit checks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I just want to point out that the deals of the week we talk about are deals that have actually made it to our funding desk.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, we've had to look at some really ugly ones, sometimes multiple times
Wow.
when we say no to them. So,
Well,
People don't understand that, like, private money lenders are pretty small, lean, and mean teams.
yes.
And they're paying attention.
Yeah.
And people think, well, I just throw it back at them and see what they do now.
Sure,
like
yeah.
there's some, like, person in the back going, hey, I'm Herb in the corner here.
Yeah.
And, like, he's going to approve it,
Yeah. That's
Yeah, but the reality, though, is that you guys do at least the same kind of underwriting a bank does, but you may not pay attention to stupid things like, hey, where did that $150 deposit in this, within this $10 million
Yeah.
company come from?
Yes.
That's kind of stuff.
Yeah, we say private money, not stupid money. And to your point, our underwriters often are underwriting to bank standards because they're trying to find the exit from our loan. And oftentimes they're saying, okay, I'm going to put my, banker hat on or conventional lending hat on and say, okay, would a conventional lender do this loan or refinance out of our loan?
Yeah, and it could be because the person started a new job,
Mhm.
and even if they're in the same industry, 2 years later, if they're successfully staying at their job, they'll be able to refinance no problem.
Right.
Interesting, yeah.
So we take a common sense approach, but it's not, helter-skelter, just put our finger in the air and see which way the wind's blowing and
Well,
say yes.
proof is in the pudding. How many losses have you guys had?
0.
Oh, that's too many.
Yeah.
So we've been fortunate. I'll knock on wood here. No, I mean, every deal has to stand on its own merits, and we have more deal flow than capital. So we're not desperate to fund every loan that comes through. And even if we had, unlimited capital, our first sort of vision or mission is take care of our investors.
Yeah, preservation of principal.
Yeah.
That's the most. Isn't that what Roy Rogers said? I'm more interested in return of my principal, not, interest on it. Return.
Did
I
Roy
want
say
my-
that?
That's right. Yeah, Roy Rogers, smart guy.
Interesting.
What's the minimum to invest in the fund?
Minimum is $50,000. So there's 3 requirements, and with the minimum, $50,000 being one of them, you have to be accredited. That's the other requirement. So $1 million net worth, exclusive of your primary residence. Although you can qualify on income too. So if you don't qualify on the total net worth, but you make $200,000 a year as an individual, you can show that on your tax returns for the last 2 years. That meets the qualification. Or if it's a household or a couple, it's $300,000 for the last 2 years.
And unlike some of investments, there's some tax advantage.
Yeah, so there's what's called the QBID, which is Qualified Business Income Deduction. And actually, we have a fun event. We have 2 more events coming up. In the next one's in Fremont on what is it? The 23rd, Wednesday the 23rd. So this coming Wednesday, and then the last one of the month is Wednesday the 30th, and that's in Walnut Creek. So it's not too late to RSVP for those 2. And you'll learn about QBID. And actually, we have Steve Moskowitz, who's a tax attorney. I would say, dare say, expert on taxation and in real estate too. So there's 2 more events. It's not too late to sign up, and you can do that by calling into the office at 415-883-2150. Actually, the Fremont one's starting to fill up, so you better RSVP soon. And then if you don't make that one, come to Walnut Creek.
Good.
Check that one out. So.
All right. We've got 2 minutes before we have to cut to a break.
You know, I was thinking about something, and it's just for the people out there wanting to get a mortgage, especially millennials, if their credit is messed up. This is just a little tip on credit reports. So a big factor is obviously late, don't be late, but also credit utilization.
Okay.
So let's say you've got, I'll keep it really simple. Let's say you've got a $2,000 line of credit and you use $1,000. That's 50% utilization. But then if you can get your credit bumped up to 4,000 and you use 1,000, it's 25% utilization.
Okay.
So I'm just letting people know out there, because I know people that have gotten messed up, and their credit is dropped down to like 650 and they were at 740. Try to get as much credit as possible and don't use as much, because that'll get your score way up.
So keep it under 30% utilization.
Under 30%,
right?
yeah.
So you can do that by saying, hey, give me a credit increase. Limit increase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where.
Yeah, sometimes these credit card companies will just say, congratulations, we're just increasing your limit. So
Exactly.
you just have to be disciplined not to go over.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I guess the theory is that if you're, at 80% utilization, the credit companies are kind of looking and going, yeah, this person's like always maxed out.
Yeah. Just think about lending this way. If you need a loan, you probably won't get one. If you don't need it, no problem.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, everyone will knock on your door after you've paid off all your bills, right?
Yeah.
And that's when you say, that's why I'm coming to you for a loan. It's because I need it.
Exactly.
And that's why we're not giving it to you.
Exactly.
And that's why you go, oh, Mr. Potter, come on.
Exactly.
George Fine.
I've been this down 45 years.
Is that what you said?
Something like
Oh,
that.
something like that,
Yeah.
yeah. Bailey Banks and Bill. No,
Yeah, it's almost the season
George
for
Bailey.
watching.
I know.
that
I was
too.
going to
Yeah,
say,
Like,
yeah, it's a good movie.
And Halloween's just around the corner, and Thanksgiving's like not too far behind.
Actually,
Well, I'm already starting to see listings coming off, and the reason is taking it off for the holidays. I saw
Oh, yeah.
that twice today.
Wow. Hey, by the way, in It's a Wonderful Life, do you know Bert and Ernie? That's where Sesame Street got Bert and Ernie from.
Really?
It did. All right, stay with us. The best of investing. We'll be right back.
Huh.
That's true.
Wow.
True story.
So we don't have much left, right?
Just 5 minutes.
5 minutes. I just came up with that credit utilization thing.
No,
It was
that's
just
good.
in front of me. I'm like, okay.
So Bert and Ernie, how?
They were cops.
Oh.
Bert
That's
Bert and
cool.
Ernie, yeah.
Well, here's just a tidbit. Wookie in the
Star Wars,
character
Star Wars.
Wookie.
Yeah.
Well, friends of mine, Bill and Cindy Wookie, who live in San Anselmo, are friends with him, with George Lucas. And okay, so you're going down 880, going to the Oakland airport, and on the right there's those things that,
Yeah, that's where
That's where he got the inspiration, and that's how he named it Wookie. yeah,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Wookiee came from people. Did he? Were they okay with that?
I guess. It's kind of a cool claim to
That's
fame.
cool.
I hope
Yeah.
they don't look like them.
No, exactly.
Chewy Wookiee.
I had a friend who he was actually in Return of the Jedi because they were short of people, and they said, "Does anybody here know anything about martial arts?" And he goes, "Well, actually, I do." And they go, "Okay, you're a Jedi," and he
No way.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Wow.
because he worked for ILM.
Wow.
Yeah, that's.
Poor guy, I would think he died now at age 50 or less than that.
What did Lucas ever do with the property at the end of Smith Ranch Road or Lucas Valley Road? Because he had that big
Yeah.
Does he still own it?
I don't know.
and all the people sued because he wanted to build affordable housing.
Yeah,
there,
that was a
stuff
big
like
deal.
NIMBY.
Yeah.
Gotta be
That
NIMBY.
would have been okay. I mean, there's not that much traffic.
Oh, I know.
It's certainly not a
It's
Yeah.
not like he's
issue.
building 5,000
Yeah.
homes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weak.
And also, I love Wayne Moss, but like Miracle Mile,
Mm-hmm.
that all that construction you would know, all that construction on Miracle
Oh,
Mile,
what's going on there?
anonymous donor, George Lucas. Everybody knows it's George Lucas. Their beautification of the middle of the median.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Does he still live out in San
Yeah.
Anselmo?
That's right across, right up there.
Oh.
Yeah.
I saw him at Yusheng.
I think he does.
Oh, they
Oh, you saying
Yeah.
that's
I
my
love that.
clients.
That's my favorite.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
That is the best sushi restaurant. I'm serious.
I was
I've
there
been-
last
like it.
night.
Really?
Yeah,
I
I love
am a sushi connoisseur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've been to a lot of sushi restaurants, but they have a special sauce. That's just
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Oh.
do.
Yeah. I
And the first time ever I ate the Chinese food there last night. It was really good. I always
Chinese
do
food's
sushi.
good there too. Yeah,
let's
yeah,
get both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Table. That
that's
was
my
good.
client. They're so nice.
Yeah.
yeah. Very
That's
nice
awesome.
people.
Song.
Okay. So 5 minutes to go. What do you want?
I was gonna ask about Oh, the season. We were talking about the seasons and people taking their home off the market. So maybe just
Okay.
say, hey.
Oh yeah, I can talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I'll ask you a couple
Get some
questions. then.
stories too. You got any stories?
Yeah.
Ready? Okay, here we go. Welcome back to the Best of Investing. Last time for today, I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Nom Fun and Patty Cohen. No trivia question because Patty ruined them all for us. No, I'm just kidding. No, we want to ask him about that.
Yeah,
chicken
you're talking.
market.
You were talking about the holidays. I'm excited
Yeah.
about every week now. Between now and the end of the year, it's going to be so much fun because it's going to be something new. But we're talking about. You had mentioned that people are already taking some of their listings off the market
Yeah.
because they don't want to deal with it during the holiday season. So, the people who keep it on, are they? What's the thought process as a listing agent? Obviously, if I'm a listing agent, I would want my clients to keep it on.
Yeah.
Just in hopes that a buyer comes through. But
Yeah.
for those who do keep it on, I mean, what's their rationale or what's the
Well,
strategy?
Think about this. There are fewer buyers, but there are fewer homes on the market.
Yeah.
I have looked at the seasonality curves since the last 30 years, and it pretty much follows. The number of buyers are pretty much in the same ratio as the number of sellers all year long.
Interesting.
So there's fewer sellers, there's also fewer
Well,
buyers.
sometimes there's people who, quote, have to buy for
Right.
whatever reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I also believe I tell people if you have an untraditional house, put it on at an untraditional time, which is the holidays,
Good point.
because that's when untraditional buyers are looking.
Well, the other thing is if I'm looking for a house and I'm really, trying to be savvy, I might think, you know what? That's when I'm going to get the best deals.
Yeah.
Is when people are trying to sell their house during Christmas time. you
Yeah.
know?
And that's what everyone thinks. So there's
Yeah.
more buyers out. But also the buyers that are out there are pretty darn motivated.
Right. I was going to say,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
So you have less people tramping through your house.
Yeah.
But I have a quick story.
Yeah,
It's
good.
unrelated, but it is absolutely the truth. A friend of mine in the Midwest had another agent hold her house open, the open house, and that agent came in and said, "Oh my God, the house was like bombed out." And this is what we do. We care. She raced through the house and threw things under bed. She made beds. She put things like in the dishwasher. She's like, people are coming from this place. Oh my God, what am I
Right.
doing? She worked up a sweat. She just sat there and it's like, I can't believe what a waste this is. Nobody shows up. And then the seller calls the listing agent. What's happening? The place is, looks great, but looks like nobody was here. And they call the agent. And they finally figured it out. She went to the house next door.
she cleaned the house
She
next
cleaned
door.
the house next door.
That's right.
Truth.
Wow.
Did she get paid for it?
No.
Oh, well, there's the sad part of the story.
Yeah. Well, it just goes to show you how much agents really honestly do care. It wasn't
Yeah.
even her listing. She cleaned up the whole house. Can you imagine the neighbor coming home going, "Who cleaned my
Yeah.
house?" I'd be ashamed.
Good thing-
I
yeah, I
would
know. Yeah,
say-
good thing she didn't get shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I were that neighbor, I'd say, that's my listing agent.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Whenever I go to
That's
sell.
And I say, you missed a spot.
I know, exactly.
But
And it
I'll
also
carry
just
this
goes to show you how many people don't lock their doors. That
Yeah,
is the
that's-
truth.
Yeah.
People don't lock their
Well,
doors.
that was the way I was for us when I was younger. We never
Yeah.
locked the car.
Yeah.
I heard some people in the Midwest, they leave their keys in the car so that they don't lose them.
Yeah, right.
Now, that might be a little bit
bit
too
much.
trusting. But
Yeah. I don't lock my car and I don't lock my doors. I mean, I really should, actually.
Yeah.
where do you live?
Not
I'm just
telling you.
kidding.
When you try
I'm
it.
just kidding.
Oh, it's right
Jeez.
around the corner.
Yeah.
Geez, that's a funny story.
True.
Yeah.
Did she bake cookies for them too? Because that's what you do, right?
Yeah.
like that. Where
Yeah.
you go into an open house and you
Yeah.
smell the cookies. That's
And here's a
good.
really good tip. Just a pot of water, boil it, take an orange, squeeze it in, put it in the water, cinnamon, and you've got a apple pie throughout the house.
Oh,
It smells like
smell.
apple pie.
Yeah.
Might as well just make a real apple pie. No,
No.
that's
Might as
the
well just put some cinnamon and an orange in the water.
cinnamon in it. Cinnamon. I can't say cinnamon. All right. Well, thank you very much
Thank you.
for another good show. We're going to cut to our thoughts for the day. Always remember, you're going to like this one. Always remember, you are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think, and loved more than you know. Ain't that sweet? Ain't that sweet, huh?
That is.
Isn't that, you like that? And I finally realized that people are prisoners of their phone. And that's why they call it a cell phone.
Ah.
Hmm.
Bump.
And then jailbreaking it. Have you heard that term? where your phone is like locked and
Oh.
you have to break it through it, like if somebody
Like
has
throw it
a
on the ground and break
password.
it? Okay. Tune in next week to the Best of Investing. We're going to be giving away more free prizes for answering trivia questions. Thanks for listening. On behalf of our team, I'm Edward Brown, wishing you the best of investing.
Yes.
So long.
Woohoo. Yay.
So
long one.
jailbreak is a real term with breaking into your phone if
Is
you
it?
forget the password. I can't remember how
And
you
how do you do
I
it?
don't know.
Well, how does a crook do it then?
But
It's
I
that
think
easy.
you need like a tech
I had
person.
a funny joke that I was going to tell, but we didn't have time.
Like, so could you take one more
Oh,
and
yeah,
do
of
it
course.
and do it from like further up and closer in so you don't get so much background.
Okay.
And I'll actually, it's not, yeah, we don't like that background sound attractive. You're like in my brother's room. Anyway,
Oh, that was good. Okay, see if we
all
like
right,
that.
let's get approval on this one.
Um,
Yeah, that's great. Oh,
Okay, you like that?
No.
Should I give up my day job?
I don't. I hate to say, can you, do you mind doing it one more time?
Yeah, sure.
See why I don't like it? It's like I was closing my eyes or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
Sorry.
You,
no worries.
camera, right?
Because if I'm gonna,
Oh, there we go.
yeah, if I'm gonna post this, sorry. Okay, so yeah,
You got this.
we got this, girl.
You go, girl.
You go, girl.
Big smile. Okay.
All right,
Give a bunch
that's like
That's all right.
it's gotta work. All right, thank you.
I'm not giving up my day job yet, but
Yeah, I like it. Good.
so I heard about this. Let's see here, about a crooked attorney with a juror, and there was a decision with. Well, you know what? I got to find this one because it's pretty funny. Let's see what we got here.
Crooked attorney.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's
Surprisingly,
not unusual.
yeah, very surprising.
Okay, I know. I heard a terrible joke about attorneys.
Okay, if I can find. Oh, here it is. Okay. Murphy, a dishonest lawyer, bribed a man on his client's jury to hold out for a charge of manslaughter as opposed to the charge of murder, which was brought by the state. One carried a penalty of 15 years, while the other was a life sentence. The jury was out for several days before they returned the manslaughter verdict. When Murphy paid the corrupt juror, he asked him if he had a very difficult time convincing the other juries to see things his way. Sure did, the jury replied. The other 11 wanted to acquit. I like that.
Can you send that to me?
Yeah. I thought you'd like that.
Oh.
I'll send it to you. Okay.
All right, till the next one. Why
You
did you
should
do it
tell
at
that
3 today?
today to open it up. Since
Yeah.
it ships
I
out.
should? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll,
Yeah, short. Yeah, it's good because it's short,
especially
so
since
it's hard to-
Moskowitz is there.
Yeah, that's right.
Ah,
He'll probably have a joke. He's actually a character.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. Hopefully there's enough food there. I think we ordered it for 60 hors d'oeuvres for 60. Enough
I
for
think
60.
Yeah,
people
there'll be a lot of
just.
people.
I always wonder how you guys do it. First of all, it must cost so much, and secondly, it's people must. I don't know. People are so rude. Do they not show?
They do. What we're
most
gonna
people
do-
will call, won't they? Or some people just
don't show.
such a-
I hate that.
We're gonna start charging,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
what we'll do is give them like if we charge $10,
Mhm.
We'll give them $10.
The first $1 million they invest, they'll get.
Oh, that's
No,
good.
the first $1 million they invest, they'll get their $10 back.
That'll be the return on investment.
Yeah, you should be paying us to attend.
That's right.
That's what we'll say to people.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll see you guys later.
Alrighty, thank you.
Even going to be there?
Even is going to be there. I
Good.
think. Yeah.
Look forward to seeing you.
See you tonight. Thanks,
All right.
Patty.
Okay. What time are you going? You going now? Probably not.
No, I have to go load up the stuff.
Going back to the office?
Didn't start till 7.
No, but
I know.
you come all the way down here. I mean, I feel bad about. You know.
Oh, no worries.
All right. Okay, so we'll show up a little bit earlier.
Yeah, show up
6:30?
6:30.
Okay. It's going 7 to 9, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oops, that's not what I want. That's what I want. We're going to cut out here at the Best of Investing. We've got 2 minutes to go. Hopefully everybody liked that joke. And what are we doing here? We are doing this, and we are doing this. because we got to do that. And let's put this over here. Let's do this over here. Let's do this over here. And let's do, catch it over there. And do that. And we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And transfer. And we got 1 minute to go. And then we like cut out this. Just because CMCM needs me to do this for 56 minutes at least. So we've got another 45 seconds to go. All right, 15 seconds to go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,